their season opener a couple of weeks ago. Carolero wins the opening tip for the Fighting Camels of Campbell University. Mentioned it, 4-1 on the year. They've got a road win against Marshall, a neutral site win over Hartford. Both of those very tight games that they pulled out. Coming off a win over Maryland Eastern Shore on Wednesday. I'm sure that made for a very happy Thanksgiving for the Camels. Here is Carolero spinning hook to get the day started for Campbell.
And not a bad job for the Hatters coming out in that zone defense. Coach Jones says, hey, let's not play that man-to-man because those guys run a lot of backdoor cuts, a la Princeton offense.
It is certainly Princeton influence. Coach Kevin McGeehan in his 9th season was a disciple of Richmond and Chris Mooney, where he was an assistant for 8 years. It is a Princeton offense in principle, but it's got a little bit more motion to it as well.
Well, you know, I have deep history with Richmond, you know. Auburn Tigers, their first NCAA tournament ever appearance. We lost to the Richmond Spiders, and that was one of the things, even back then with Dick Tarrant as the head coach, they run a lot of motion, backdoor cuts, so you have to be together defensively.
Messiah Thompson a little bit short on the 2. Stetson, meanwhile, in their 3rd year under Donnie Jones, coming off a CBI appearance last year after going 7-9 in the A-Sun. They are middle of the pack team, looking to get a little bit better than that with some of these guys back. They had 3 freshman starters last year. They're all back. Chase Johnston was one of them. He misses a 3.
The Hatters trying to determine how to get inside that defense that the Camels are playing. Oh,
Austin McCullough with a late cut throws it down. He's a senior from Birmingham, Alabama. Super senior, in fact, coming back with his 5th year of eligibility due to the pandemic, and he might end up being a key piece for them today with Whitfield out.
Sneaky, athletic, 6'5" guy, has a little bounce to him, as you saw there. Veteran performer.
Hatters 2-2, got that big win over Lamar last Friday, but they are 0 for 3 from the field to start.
And that's not the shot you want. I mean, Swenson can make that shot, but you don't want that shot at that point in the shot clock from that distance.
All 3s for the Hatters so far. They were a pretty good 3-point shooting team last year as Clemens takes it in for his first 2.
And there's the beautiful passing by Calero, and there's the backdoor cut by Clemens. You must talk on defense, and you must know where everybody is. If you get too high, try to play those passing lanes, backdoor cuts.
Now we're seeing the rise, or the re-rise maybe, of the passing big man. And Carolero leads this team in assists this season. First attempt inside the arc for Stetson is good look, but in and out for Christian Jones, their super senior.
Yep, good idea for Christian Jones to take it to the basket.
Henderson finishes through contact, and he'll go to the line.
And there's one of the few times that you will see the Camels push the ball up the floor. They had some numbers, and you see Cedric Henderson running right to that spot. They got it to him quickly. He took the doggone pressure and made the shot.
Donnie Jones, not a happy man already, getting Mohamedou Jawara up to come into the game. Henderson misses the free throw. 7 out of 12 at the line this year. But it's an 8-0 start for Campbell, who are 4 of 5 from the floor. Here's Perry looking to jumpstart the Hatters.
Got to get something going.
Johnston, that'll help.
And like that, Chase Johnson showing you what he does best. Shoot the basketball from long range.
Shot 37.5% from 3 last year, was the A-Sun freshman of the year, averaging 13.5 points.
And the Hatters went into that 2-2-1 four-court press after made field goals, made free throws.
Swenson nearly coming up with it, but it'll stay with Campbell as Jawara checks in for Christian Jones. Been a little interesting to see Jawara's minutes diminish. He's been the, no doubt about it, right at Penn starting center the last 2 years, but Donnie Jones has only played him a few minutes a night in the last few games.
Well, sometimes a coach tries to send a message to you in various ways, and playing time is one of them. You know, you want to see some fire from Jawara. He's a guy that's capable of doing some big things, but has to want it.
McCullough gets a favorable bounce on the 3.
Had used every part of the rim there. It hit the back landing part of the rim that's extended from backboard and just laid there and went in. Shooter's bounce. And this is a matchup, man-to-man defense, zone defense.
Swenson off the screen. No good. McCullough with a good rebound for Campbell. A good start for McCullough, who's got 5 points and 3 boards. Now Carolero for 3.
Can't shoot it from there. Yep, push off there by McCullough.
So that's the first. Just picked up their first foul. They are second nationally in fewest fouls per game. Jawara backing down Carolero. He goes over the top and finishes off the glass. That's what Donnie Jones will want to see for the big guy.
Yes, maybe seeing his shot go through the basket will give him some needed confidence. And that possession up the floor to Campbell's came down into hard man-to-man defense. They've been playing a zone, matchup zone. They changed things up during that timeout, and the Hatters handled it extremely well.
Jawara was something of a recruiting coup. 4-star player by ESPN and Rivals. He was a freshman All-American in Kyle Macy, but didn't really advance all that much last year. They're looking for more from him this season. That's a good defensive possession by Stetson. Shot clock violation by Campbell.
Well, one official calls a foul. Yeah. So I think we're going to have a 2-shot foul there.
Well, that is a heartbreaker for the Hatters, who looked like they had grinded out all 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They get Jawara for the foul. We'll have to see it again to determine one way or the other, but Thompson
a little
going to shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, a little reach in, Evan. You know, he was off balance with the shot. And
Thompson, a junior out of Atlanta, Georgia, who has been scorching hot from 3 off the bench so far this year. He's made 9 of 17 3-pointers, and he makes both free throws here. They get Campbell back in the lead by 8.
Now we have Giancarlo Valdez, sophomore, in for the Hatters, as Coach Jones is looking for some combination at that point guard spot.
And a freshman in as well, and Alvin Tumblin out of Sebring. And that's a poor pass by Smith, rescued by Perry with 10 on the shot clock.
It was so bad, nobody on the floor could catch it.
Back out to Perry. He'll look for a bucket here. Long 2, a little bit short. Rebound off Jawara. Should have caught that. Instead, it's a break for Campbell. Henderson, 2-man game with Moxekis, and Smith rejects Moxekis at the rim.
Good no call by the officials.
Josh Smith with an athletic defensive play in transition, and then Perry draws a foul.
And that's what Josh Smith can do for you. I love the legs on him. He's a outstanding leaper. And he went straight up. The principle of verticality was in play. The officials, great no call. He went straight up and blocked it.
Foul is on Carolero, his first.
One of the rare fast breaks again for the Camels.
It was Gidemis Moxekis who ended up taking it to the hoop and got denied by Smith, a sophomore wing out of Lithuania. Jawara stripped of the ball. It's not what they want to see from him. And Thompson the other way. Valdez contests, and he missed the layup.
Great contest. Didn't give up on the play.
And we got whistles here.
Looks like the shot.
Oh, they're going to get a foul.
Wow. Didn't see that. We both were blocked out from the angle with the officials.
What number did he put up there, though? Did they call that on Swenson?
35.
Was that on Tumblin then?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it was on Alvin Tumblin, his first. 2 team fouls for the Hatters. Into Carolero. Jawara forces it out to Thompson, who keeps shooting.
He is a Messiah. You could tell he wants to play at a different pace. But Coach McGinn says, no, you know how we play, but now you can knock down those shots if you're wide open like that.
He had a tough time up against the Crazies at Cameron, where he went 1 out of 6. In all other games now, he's 9 of 12 from 3 in their 5 other games.
He is an offensive guy, juggernaut for their team off the bench and starting today.
Valdez, not a good idea there. Yeah. So he got doubled. I think he was looking for Tumblin in the corner, and Tumblin had made a cut down the baseline. And Valdez will check out. Swenson right back in, along with Christian Jones for Josh Smith. So an extended run here for Jawara. This is as much as he's played in the first half since the opener.
Well, I think you need that inside presence, and you need someone to kind of, you can score inside. This is not a great shot blocking team, the Campbells. So if you are able to get the ball inside to Jawara, he should be able to score the basketball or at least get fouled and go to the free throw line. Now the Hatters are coming down now. They're in a man-to-man, straight-up man-to-man as they were in the last couple of possessions.
Brock Bidwell on the floor, freshman for Campbell, who has not played since their first game. And there's great ball movement, and Carolero with the slam.
And a 6'8" junior from Spain.
Averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds for us.
And it looks like, you know, now they're going back with their starting 5.
It's tumbling in for
tumbling, right.
Tumbling in for Perry, in fact, that's it. And a blocking foul called against Thompson. I think Swenson might have wanted to let that continue.
And of course, Campbell thought that was a charge. But Swenson had a clear path to the basket had they not blown anything.
McCullough will check back in for Thompson as he picks up his first foul.
Yep, there's a flop by Messiah Thompson.
High lob into Jones. Can the Hatters get something going on offense here? Campbell packing it in.
And they're good help side team defense as well. They're running that shell drill. If you play basketball, you're familiar with that. Coaches do that every day in practice. Can't get split. And they do a good job of it there.
Another mediocre look at best for the Hatters.
Yep.
And they're one and done.
And everything has been one-on-one. You know, there's been no kind of set continuity.
McCullough driving on Smith, lowers the shoulder. Is shorthanded. 2 of their rotation players are out today, and now one of their starters, 5th-year senior Austin McCullough, is on the bench with 2 fouls.
Well, they have everybody to step up, including that young man right there, Mr. Brock Bidwell, the 6'1" freshman from Cummings, Georgia, Milton High School.
That's the first on Swenson. Bidwell, this is his first appearance since playing 10 minutes in their opener against a non-D1 team. This is the first time he's played against D1 competition in his career. He is the all-time leading scorer in West Forsyth High School history, and then he transferred to Milton for his senior season, where they were state champs and at one point the top-ranked public school in the country.
Much bigger school. He wanted a little better competition in West Forsyth County, so. But that's what it takes. You know, it takes when someone else goes down on your team, you need someone else to come up. And you only need him sparingly, as he's going to come out right now, Messiah, to get a breather. And when you come in for someone off the bench, a team, you want to be an asset, not a deficit. This is where he makes his living.
And underneath the basket to Clemens, who is shooting 79% on 2s. And I wonder if that thumb is giving him enough problems where he's trying to get only layups, but it hasn't affected his average. He's scoring 12 points a game. He gets 7 rebounds a game. He's tied for the team lead in rebounds, and he's 6'2".
But that's what he does. You know, he doesn't shoot a lot of jump shots.
Another bad shot for Stetson, an ISO jumper fading away from Jones that had no chance.
And not only that, 0 offensive rebounds, no second chance opportunities.
They've been one and done all day.
Campbell doing a great job of that.
Well, it's interesting, the Hatters were lifeless on offense in the first half against Lamar, too. They only scored 19 points, came out and were tremendous in the second half, scored 41, coming back to win. Here's Perry trying to get him going.
I would want to run something for Rob Perry or Chase.
Well, there you go. They move the ball around a little bit, and good things happen. Johnston with his second 3.
Swing the basketball from one side of the floor to the other. Chase spotting up, and the Campbell bench is probably thinking, hey, he's not going to shoot it that far out. But yes,
they haven't watched him play then. That's a 9-0 run for Campbell that was snapped.
And nothing like some three-pointers to get you back into the basketball game.
Thompson, pass is swatted down by Swenson. Thompson with great hustle to win it back. Now from the corner, Moksekis, no good from 3. Rebound Smith.
Not a shot that Campbell normally takes, but it was on a steal. They thought they had some numbers. Decided to pull the trigger.
It was a great hustle play by Thompson.
Yeah, and a great steal by Swenson and a better steal by Messiah Thompson.
Johnston to the corner for Jones.
A little stagnant. Everyone's standing around, want a little movement.
Swenson driving, spins off with the left, finishes over Henderson.
Now that's where you want to see Swenson. Inside the paint, creating or making some tough shots like that.
He's shooting better than 50% on 2s this year. Stefan Swenson. If they could just get a little bit of scoring out of him, it opens so much else up. As Clemens, everything but the finish, but he gets his own rebound and puts it in.
Nobody knows where your miss is going to go better than yourself. He knew he shot it too hard, went back up before anybody else, and made his own offensive rebound and put back.
Jones wide open for three. He drills it. It was created by Swenson. They got to respect him. And now the Hatters have 8 points on their last 3 possessions.
And on cue, we just said you need Swenson to be penetrating. And if he can score inside, do so. If not, jump it back out, which he did there. Christian Jones took care of the long range.
Hatters on an 8-2 run. Thompson, deep three. In and out, rebound Jones.
You know a game is going to have those ebb and flows, and this is one of them. The Campbells have kind of gone into a little lull here.
Johnston driving over Stochik. No good. Perry tried to tip him the rebound, but Stochik picked it off. Milos Stochik, reserve big guy from Serbia. He's on the ball here.
He's another one of those guys that can pass the ball very well from that top of the key free throw line area.
Serbia having something of a basketball moment right now with their reigning NBA MVP hailing from the country, Nikola Jokic. Jones takes it himself. He'll go to the line. He had Swenson wide open in the corner, but you can't blame him for going to the bucket, and he'll get 2 free throws. Carolero, Henderson for 3, and Carolero making plays again, and Henderson knocks down the triple. He's got 5.
Just your everyday typical over the head Harlem Globetrotter pass 30 feet away in the corner to Henderson, and was on cue, who's been stepping out more and more this season, and he's closing in on 1,000 points.
What do you think of so the Hatters turn it over here. Campbell gets out on the break, and Henderson throws it in for 2 more.
That's some genetics there. That 6'6" senior there from Memphis, Tennessee, as his dad, Cedric Henderson, played at University of Memphis, played in the NBA a few years.
He had a cup of coffee with the Cavaliers and briefly Golden State. As a second-round pick, but really great college player, averaged double figures every year for Memphis in the mid-90s.
Yeah, and you know that's a number. When you see a kid with a number 45, there's got to be some history behind that. You know, nice spin-off move there.
Of course, Michael Jordan briefly wore 45, so that's one that you'll see once in a while.
But there's a story behind wearing a 45.
Yes, for sure.
His dad wore 45 in the NBA and at Memphis, so carrying that tradition on.
Johnston, deep 3. That one too deep even for him.
Yeah.
And Campbell looks to have quieted this brief Hatter spurt here as they've gone back up by 13.
And, you know, it takes a while to get used to the pace of a team that does a lot of backdoor cuts and moving in motion, and the Hatters seem to have gotten on track defensively.
Jones a 3. Might have been able to get a foul there on Thompson.
Yeah, it looked like he was touched on the hand there, but the officials did not make any call there. Here's a set play coming off a double screen there. Yep, they don't run a lot of set plays when their motion is working for them. Clemens one-on-one to try to. There's the passing.
Great ball movement by the Camels. Thompson, though, misses the 3.
Good rebound there by Christian Jones.
That has typically been money for them this year. A for effort. Now Jones driving. He'll go back to the free throw line.
Nice. You're going to need more of that, and that's what Christian Jones did last year. Took the ball to the basket. He just did not become satisfied, and here it is. Nice with the body there. He took the contact and was still able to get it up, give himself a chance, but he's going to have to go to the line, capitalize off of it.
Well, that's 2 on Carolero. There's already 2 on McCullough. And now we're going to see another substitution for Campbell. Laurinus Vasteris is going to check in, another Lithuanian recruit, who, again, one of these guys that only played in that opener against William Peace, who's going to have to fill in here briefly as Carolero goes to the bench. They are just shorthanded, down to 7 rotation players are the Camels. Wesett Panzo checks in for Stetson for the first time.
And now with the make of the free throw, you can set up a dead ball situation. maybe a little press, a little run and jump, but they're just straight up man-to-man. So
a couple of freshmen in the game for the Hatters. Gadarizzi and Tumblin.
I think the Hatters are going to have to press, speed up the pace just a little bit, but you got to do that on the made.
Ballesteros posts up Valdez for 2.
Coming right off the bench and using a saddle dribble is what we call, with the ball between your legs, a low bounce. And it looked like it was an offensive foul, though. He was warding off with that offhand, but able to get a good, strong move by Ballesteros.
Greg, it doesn't seem like the Hatters can get much of any separation here as Perry bricks a 3 from 25 feet. It's just everything's contested, one-on-one. It doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on down there.
A lot of settling and no movement, no ball movement, no, you know, picks on the basketball, no pick and roll. So everything is, like you say, stagnant, one-on-one.
Thompson pull-up triple, no good. Here's Valdez. Trying to get something going for this Hatter team that has just been a little dead in the water so far this afternoon. Poked away by Thompson. Stayed with him. Thompson the other way, gets it to go. 7 for Messiah Thompson, who has stepped up big with the injury to Jordan Whitfield. Yeah. And Campbell has matched their largest lead of the day. Valdez deep 3. Thought they were going to get a moving screen on Gadarizzi. Instead, we got a foul on the
freshman Gadarizzi, and Hatters going to need every one of these opportunities at the free throw line.
Well, that's good see from him, because he had just been 1 of 4 from the line coming in, but he makes both of those.
Yes, so
that'll double his percentage.
And now, if you're the Camels, you want to walk out of this half. And his last 4 minutes, you know, coaches talk about the first 5 minutes, the last 4 minutes. You don't want to give the Hatters anything to hang their hat on as you close out this half. And the Hatters, they want to try to make a run here, but you have to play smart.
Henderson, fadeaway J. Ballesteros with the rebound. It's a good defensive possession for Stetson, but Campbell gets a second chance.
Yeah, and you got to come up with those defensive rebounds when you play such good defense for 25 seconds.
Now Clemens bouncing into the lane. He is so quick.
And you got to know your scouting report. You know he's not going to shoot out beyond the arc, and everyone fell for the little pump fake, and it gave him that extra. But he is, like you said, very quick to the basket, that first step.
Got a little hop to him. Pep in his step. Tumblin, the freshman, on the drive. Alvin Tumblin goes to the line. That's an easy call for the official. Good take there by Tumblin, who was first team All-County at Santa Fe Catholic, averaged 18 points a game.
Strong move by the freshman from Sebring, Florida. And I mean, that is showing you his hop too, man. He has some leaping ability, as the coaching staff talked about him. So good, strong move by the freshman.
Stetson was Tumblin's first offer last spring. He ended up taking it, but also offered by Indiana State, James Madison.
The Sycamores.
Home of Larry Bird. Of course, when he announced that he'd been offered by them, he posted a picture of Larry Bird on his social media accounts. He misses both free throws, though.
And just shot those too quick. He has nice form, but, you know, perhaps the moment here, you know, you want to do something well, just take your time, take that deep breath. Now you need to back off of him, because he's not going to shoot the ball from out there. We're talking about Clemens. He wants to go to the hole.
Thompson, he'll shoot it. Working on Perry, gets a screen. Now goes to the rack and scores at the end of the shot clock.
Knew the shot clock was winding down, did not panic. With the use of the bounce, being able to get where he wanted to be on the basketball floor.
Rob Perry 0 for 5 with that miss here in the first half. He's been so good for Stetson since coming here 2 years ago, but he has a tendency to go silent for long stretches.
He does, and then he can come back in the second half and
drop 25 points.
Right.
Like he did earlier this year against Florida Memorial. That's going the other way. Good job by Smith.
Yeah, good hustle there. Both players. Ballesteros and Smith Astaris for Campbell, and Smith both getting on the floor for the ball.
Astaris and Brock Bidwell giving Kevin McGeehan some valuable minutes so far in this game. Astaris is going to stay in here.
As a coach, you know, you recruit guys, and you know you're hoping that this is what's going to happen when you put them in a basketball game, but you just never know. These kids are getting an opportunity. Throw it. You got to throw it inside. Smith had Stochich on his back there, and you got to throw it in.
Everyone just standing around for the Hatters here with 10 to shoot.
Yeah.
Perry trying to call something out. Smith sets him a screen. Perry, another long jumper, but he gets this one.
Yeah.
His first 2 points of the game.
He had a mismatch. He had big Stochich on him, and he figured that, hey, I can get my own shot. Don't panic. He's telling the crowd, I got it. Came away with a well-needed bucket and maybe give him something, thinking about going into the halftime or maybe the second half. Man, I finally saw something positive happen for me. Campbell, they're going to have to get a shot up, 2-second shot differential.
Clemens is going to try to do just that. No, he kicks out. Thompson a three. Got it. 12 in the first half for Messiah. The second half now, they've got the basketball. Starters for both teams. Carolero and McCullough, 2 fouls for Campbell worth watching. Here is Jesus Carolero. The Spaniard goes around Jones, misses the lay-in.
Good defense by Christian Jones. Really outmatched in size, and he was able to hold his ground, and the Hatters come away with giving him one opportunity. So now, here's where the Hatters have struggled offensively. Defensively, they've kind of gotten the number and the rhythm of how Campbell plays.
Swenson over the top, and a foul on the rebound on Smith, who went over the back to try and grab that one. That's the first on Josh Smith.
So you want to see this pace pick up, and right away the Hatters are coming up in their 2-2-1 full court press on dead ball situations. Probably misses sometimes if they can.
Campbell, that slow tempo benefits them when they've got a lead like this, because there's just not a whole lot of possessions for the other team to come back with. Got to be efficient. Henderson off the glass, no good. Rebound falls to Perry.
Good defense, and again, only one opportunity. Both teams have done a very good job of that. Campbell, they've been exceptional.
Been perfect.
Hatters have 0 offensive rebounding, and they've hung their hats on second chance opportunities.
Johnson, quick trigger. That's big for Chase Johnston. He can make them from anywhere. He's got 3 of them today for 9 points. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Stetson.
And Messiah's looking at it like, good Lord, man, I was there, but you weren't there.
Yeah, there's nothing for him to hang his head about after that one. Carolero dumps off to McCullough. Smith defending him in the paint. McCullough fighting inside Smith with great defense.
Good defense.
Campbell shut out to start the second half. Johnston again, but he's got the big guy out on him this time.
Yeah, Carolero said, yeah, I've read the scouting report.
Well, he went for it anyway, didn't miss by much, and the rebound flung out off of Campbell, and that will go down as the first offensive rebound for the Stetson Hatters today. And I'm not sure it didn't come off of Smith in the end, but it'll stay with Stetson.
Give that hustle to Smith. There's the shot, and look at him moving while the ball is in flight. And it looks like McCullough grabbed a little of the wrist. And so just good hustle. And when that flight of the basketball goes up, for all you youngsters looking at basketball, if you want to be a good offensive rebounder, you move the minute that ball goes up. You don't wait and look at the flight of the basketball. There's an illegal screen there by the Hatters.
Well, Donnie Jones not happy about it. It's on Rob Perry, his first.
But you can earn your living. You can earn a scholarship pursuing the pumpkin, pursuing the basketball. And there's that backdoor cut.
Clemens hacked by Johnston. And frankly, not a bad foul to concede. Clemens gets fouls a ton because he's a lot less efficient at the free throw line than he is around the basket.
I mean, they do a great job, the Camels, of spacing the floor out. But again, if you're Chase, you got to remember the scouting report. You know, you're out there guarding him way out on the wing. 30 feet, 28 feet from the basket, you know he's not going to shoot it. You got to get off of him a little. And the minute that ball goes in the middle, there's that backdoor cut.
Ricky Clemens took 100 free throws last year. He made only 60 of them. And he misses the first here. He's a career 59% free throw shooter. He's just not a jump shooter in any way.
No.
You know,
and I'm you know, you and I both have watched him play a couple of times this year, and I've watched his shooting form. It looks like that elbow goes inside, it goes inside out, and as a lefty, it's just not being consistent.
Turned out to be a very good foul by Johnston.
Yeah.
Clemens misses both, and that's a viable strategy against Clemens that a lot of teams have used.
Christian, he had Josh Smith inside, but you got to pass it right away.
Good ball by Johnston to Perry, who drains the three.
And you talk about quick releases. We always talk about Chase Johnson, but Rob Perry has a quick release as well.
Campbell has not scored in the second half, and the Hatters are within 12.
And here's where you have to, if you're the Hatters, whenever that ball goes in the middle, and if you're guarding the wing, you know you have to jump to the basketball.
Henderson wide open for three. That's short. And one and done again for Campbell. Christian Jones looking to push the tempo. He got caught between two minds and lost his dribble.
Yeah, he
Son
had
looking over to Perry,
yep.
And then, oh, do I go, do I not?
That's a point where you have the ball in the middle. You got to kick it out to that wing and cut to the basket. You may have gotten the basketball back.
Second chance for Campbell. Thompson. Smith may have gotten a piece of that. Now Jones will get another crack at it, and he turns it over again.
And now he made the pass that he should have made a series before. So, Christian, you could have kept that one, but the
Hatters win it back again.
Come back with it.
And this time it's their playmaker, Swenson, and he'll slow it down. He says, all right, let's take the air out of this just a little bit. Jawara's come over to the scorer's table here.
Yeah. You know,
I wonder if Jones is the one who's going to come out.
And Christian, you would have loved to have seen him just take that to the basket then. You know, he's done such a good job of it last year and this year as well.
Perry step back three, drills it over McCullough.
Yep, Super Rob Perry is feeling it.
Hatters within single digits.
You said it right before the half. I mean, he could, a tale of two halves for that young man. He can look like a non-scholarship player one half, and then the next half he can look like Super Rob Perry.
9-point game. Hatters have cut the lead in half in 5 minutes. Through to Clemens, ripped away by Johnston. It's a turnover. All game, Hatters with the ball down 9.
And you have to give the Hatters credit for defensive-wise. They're getting a feel for that cutting and understanding where they need to be defensively.
Perry's got 6 of the 9. Johnston's got the other 3. Now Swenson. Hatters moving a little bit more here.
There it is. You got the mismatch. You got to give it to him.
It goes to Perry. Deep triple. He's not missing. Perry's made 4 shots in a row. It's a 6-point game.
I mean, sometimes as commentators and analysts, we talk about what a team needs to do, but you and I looked at each other during the break and said, man, they got to make shots. and so they're making shots this second half.
Perry out to 11 points after an 0 for 5 start. Now Henderson driving on Perry. Fadeaway J, no good. Campbell, meanwhile, is 0 for 7 here in the second half. They've yet to score a single point. Going on 6 minutes. Perry again.
Bam.
No way!
Oh, boy.
Unbelievable. Rod Perry. 4 threes in a row.
Oh. Super Rob. I mean, you know, you and I are about to come out our coats where he's so hot, making us hot.
Way too much fun. Rob Perry with 12 points unanswered by himself to get the Hatters back in this. Now McCullough from 3, and that'll quiet the crowd. Austin McCullough, who only played sparingly in the first half due to foul trouble, has 8 points. And Campbell back up by 6. But this is a completely different ball game than when we came out of halftime.
It is. Well-needed bucket for the Campbells by their veteran performer who's been around the block a bit.
A turnover by Stetson. It was 6:27 into the half before Campbell scored. Now Carolero, way too strong, but a foul.
I thought they weren't going to call it. A lot of times officials miss it, but Chase hit him on the elbow going up.
That's 2 on Johnston.
one of the rare fast breaks for Campbell. You take a look at it there. Yep, Chase hit him right on that elbow.
Carolero will shoot 2 from the line, 71% free throw shooter this year. Started to break out during conference play last year when he got into the lineup regularly, averaged nearly 9 points a game. He's endured some injuries over his first 2 seasons, but he's really stepped up this year after the injury to their starting big Joshua Lucane in their first game.
I mean, the coaching staff, they say he's as good a talent as any other big guy in the Big South, and that's saying a whole lot. That's just putting it together, as you say, and overcoming those injuries. Very good passer, leading the team in assists. So he understands the game of basketball.
He goes 1 out of 2 at the line. Campbell's lead back out to 7. Swenson mid-range J. Decent look, but it's no good.
Yeah, gotta make those shots. And that's something that Swenson is going to have to improve upon.
Thompson, kick out Henderson. Johnston's all over him.
Hatters are playing much better, Evan, on the ball defense.
About to say that. They really seem to have picked up the rhythm of this thing. And there's a turnover as Carolero, with a rare miss, leads Clemens a little bit too far. Moksekis will check back in for McCullough here.
Been a relatively clean game for both teams.
Yeah.
Not a lot of turnovers. That was what, number 2?
Look at down. There's actually been, Stetson has 10 turnovers. It doesn't feel that way.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But they do. That's just 5 for Campbell. They don't turn it over very much at all, about 10 a game. Good ball movement by Stetson. Perry, mid-range 2. His first miss of the second half. Jawara crashing for the board, but they'll call a foul on him.
But that's the hustle you want to see if you're Coach Jones, and pursuing the pumpkin, as my good friend Clark Kellogg says, but you have to chase after it. You have to be active if you want to be a good rebounder. Now, you can't run through someone, but you have to be active. You have to move when the flight of the basketball is in the air. Think about all the good rebounders in the NBA over the years, the Dennis Rodmans and the individuals like that. I mean, they move.
All of them in the second half. Got a foul on the floor here.
Jawara.
That's going to be his 3rd.
Thought the Hatters had to be careful here in this underneath out-of-bounds play.
By the way, Campbell is now in the bonus with 12 minutes left in the game. Not a great free throw shooting team, but you give anybody enough attempts, that is a disadvantage. And 0 team fouls on Campbell. 6 on Stetson already in the first 8 minutes of this half. That's a clean block, and it'll go the other way off the leg of Henderson, who has been silenced here in the second.
Good defense there, good team defense by the Hatters. Always get nervous. Underneath out-of-bounds plays, playing man-to-man, you have to be very well coached, and you have to talk. Hatters obviously did that last possession, but there's bringing Super Rob Perry off of a screen, getting the ball in a one-on-one situation in that medium post where he likes to go to work, just a push in the back.
It's on Henderson, his 2nd. He'll check out of the game for McCullough. Just the first foul, I should say, on Campbell. And now the little runner by Johnston. Not a bad idea, but it's a little too strong.
Yep, that's a tough shot. Diving to the basket, if you will, the momentum. You have to put it high and soft and put a little English on it. And that's tough to do in that situation. You almost got it to go down.
Messiah Thompson, 12 points in the first half. They've kept him off the board. Carolero loses the basketball.
Good help defense there by Rob.
Perry ahead to Jones, to the corner. Johnston wide open for 3. Every time you give him that much space, Johnston's got 12, and it's a 4-point game.
Big time shot there, as we often say, where there's very little or no contest, it often yields a shooter's best. And not only did he make a great shot, but he caught a bad pass. I mean, Christian had to get it to him any way he could, and he was able to just catch it, gain control of it, and knock it down.
Clemens.
Oh, the finger roll.
Beautiful. Takes him 2 steps. He's from the elbow to the hole.
Got to know your scouting report. And he's left-handed, so he went to his strong hand, and he's taking that bandage off of that left thumb as well, so he's probably felt a little hampered.
Yeah, he had that taped
half.
up earlier. Jones driving baseline. Out to Swenson for the open three. Stefan Swenson, butter soft.
And he's thinking to himself, finally, I get one to go down.
It's his 4th made three this season on 14 attempts. He's got a good-looking shot.
He does, and that was just like practice, you know, catch and shoot, wide open. You do those drills every day.
Hatters have made 10 threes in this game. 7 of them here in the second half, and they're within a possession.
And you know once he gets the ball in the post, he's going to pass.
Thompson no good. Perry bumped. It'll go the Hatters' way.
Yeah, and they may give that foul on. Yes.
Yep, that's the 3rd on Carolero.
Carolero there. Just the contact as Rob Perry goes up, and yep, that reach back. The officials felt a lot of contact. Carolero says, man, we're both going for the basketball. I didn't foul him, but the officials said, yes, you did. Both teams are chalking up these fouls early on, and we're at the halfway point.
Swenson driving baseline on Thompson. Kicks out to Jones. Steps in for 2. In and out.
Yeah, you wanted Rob Perry on that left side, but he had a good look.
Jones picks off the deep ball from Carolero. Jones going right down to the lane.
There you go.
That's what you wanted to see from Christian Jones.
That's
1 point game.
And that's what he does best. And hey, I'm not settling. I'm coming up with this steal. I have everybody in disarray. Campbell, they don't know where they are defensively. I'm going to push the pace, force the issue.
These Hatters look like a second half team. They were against Lamar. They have been so again today. Moksekas for 3. That's a big shot.
Yeah. And we're going to knock down some shots when we get those opportunities. And Rob Perry, you can just see it in his eyes that, hey, man, I just can't have a half like I did that first half, the second half.
Good ball by Perry to Jones. Christian Jones in and out. It was a good look.
Yeah, he can make that shot. You're looking at a 1,000-point score there for the Hatters, back for his Jones extra year.
Got a league average 3-point shooter for his career. Oh, Clemens nearly getting the and 1. Instead, he'll shoot 2, and that is the 3rd foul on Johnston.
Yeah, and Chase again is giving up that left hand angle. He's thinking he's going to have some help. And you got to remember, Ricky Clemens, he wants to go to the basket, and he's left-handed. So you cannot give him both of those. You got to take away something. So you got to get off of him, make him shoot the shot. He doesn't want to shoot a jump shot.
That's his first free throw make. Clemens with 11 points. Now 1 of 3 from the line.
But easier said than done, as we talked about, man, this young man and overcoming some, you know, challenges of being a walk-on.
You kind of get why he was a walk-on, because he's a little undersized and he doesn't have much of a jump shot, but that explosiveness and that skill around the rim is just really, really impressive.
I was teasing you during the break. You're looking at his body. I mean, he looks like Saquon Barkley as opposed to Ricky Clemens, but he's put together, man, and he's a strong individual, and he knows what he does best, and that's taking the ball to the basket.
And he makes about 80% of his twos. It's like a center.
That's point-blank range, so he's getting there.
Swenson off his own foot. Moksekas came up with it briefly.
Good hustle.
Now Gadarizzi going down there. They'll call a held ball.
But very winnable, favorable schedule for the Camels.
Thompson, 3, it's short. The Marshall win was a little unexpected, but they were able to pull that one out on the road, and that kind of gives them a little boost here.
In Huntington, West Virginia. And that was Ricky Clemens coming up with the...
Moksekas on the cut. Campbell back out to a 7-point lead.
Now the Hatters, you can't relax on your defensive principles. Everyone kind of looking at the basketball and not seeing the ball where you are and your man.
Perry steps back for 3. Didn't miss by much.
Tough shot there, tough shot.
Moksekas just made the big 2. Can he get 3 more? No good. Smith leaps for the rebound.
Hatters need something positive.
Jones out of the corner. Nothing there.
Wanted to hit Smith, who tumbled down and fell in the post, so he didn't have anyone to pass it to.
Swenson penetrating. It's up against Henderson. Floats it over the big guy.
Nice. And that's the shot you got to be able to make. And a big guard, he's 6'2".
Stojic and Clemens driving on Swenson. Counted and a foul.
And a lefty guarding a lefty. And if a lefty is guarding a lefty, you know which way a lefty wants to go. But Ricky Clemens with that quick first step. And Swenson just too close to that young man. You have to concede him taking a jump shot. You can't get up on him.
I'm not sure he'd even take the jump shot, Greg.
No,
I think he's going to try anyway.
Exactly.
And he completes the three-point play. 14 for Clemens. Well, you were right to highlight him before the game, Greg. I know you wanted to.
That's your urgent. That's your urgent.
I just could tell what was in your heart.
You know I wanted
where you wanted to go.
Cedric Henderson, looking at stats, but I know that, in my heart, I said, man, he's the glue. He's the heart and soul of the team.
He's got Campbell back out to an 8-point lead. Hatters could really use a bucket.
Yes, I was just going to say they've been going a little cold streak here.
Perry. Swenson has to leap to get that in the corner. Another switch. Johnston deep three. Rattles in.
That's an NBA three-pointer. Easy.
15 for Johnston on 5 of 8 from three-point land. And there's the bucket. Hatters within 5 again. 11 for 23 from 3. You see 48% on the day for the Hatters.
And that's how the Hatters have gotten back into this basketball game this second half. They're making some shots.
Deep three, McCullough. That's no good. Smith has been huge down there. Gobbles up his 8th rebound of the game.
A lot of contact there. I thought it was going to be a foul on Campbell, but the officials are letting him play on.
Johnston.
They've had Josh Smith in the post a couple of series, but they've been unable to get the ball to him.
Johnston again. A little bit short this time.
I mean, like that possession there. I mean, he looked right at Josh Smith. He had a defender on his back. You got to get it into him because, Chase, you may get the basketball back.
Campbell trying to hang on. Messiah Thompson. Clemens. Carolero, backdoor cut. McCullough couldn't get the shot up. 5 on the shot clock. Henderson from the right wing. Step back. Three-pointer. It's good.
Big shot. Big time shot.
His first point since halftime. Cedric Henderson Jr. with a massive 3.
And you can see that he was eyeing it all the way. He knew the shot clock was winding down. That's a senior play there. Veteran performer.
Perry. He gets back out to the perimeter, but you see his visible frustrations. Henderson was all over him. Shot clock winding down. Jones to the rim. Counted and a foul. Christian Jones into double figures with a huge play.
Guy's going to turn around and score. Sometimes the defender's going to drop back in on him and he can throw it back out for a wide open shot. So there's nothing more disconcerting than a big guy bumping up against another big guy for 30 minutes and then you don't touch the basketball.
Hatters pressing. Thompson looked flustered the whole way. Jones wins it back. He scores. It's a one-possession game.
Great steal by the Hatters. We were talking about Josh Smith, but we knew made free throws, made field goals. They're going to come out with that press. This time they're trapping on it.
Man, you could tell Thompson was in trouble the whole way there.
Yes.
McCullough passes up the shot to allow Campbell to run some clock.
And they list Massar at 5'8". It's probably, maybe he's 5'8", so having to see over the defenders was tough.
Henderson, mid-range too.
And that guy's been tough these last few possessions for them. When they've needed a bucket, Cedric Henderson has provided it for them.
All Big South second team last year, scored 15 a game. This is his 49th career double-digit game. There's the first shot by Smith, but it wasn't a
kind of a frustration shot.
He's a little slow to get up, and they're going to stop play as he looked like he got bumped in the mouth there.
Yeah, took some contact there, and I thought the officials were going to at least take a look at that, but another frustration shot, but he received it in the post, and there's been 3 or 4 trips where he's been open to do that. Yeah, after the missed shot, he went for it and kind of just friendly fire, incidental contact there.
Jawara checks in for him while he gets checked on.
So this is a danger zone. 2 minutes if you're the Hatters, and if you're Campbell, you're talking about harder cuts, and you're talking about executing, doing what they normally do.
Taking the shot clock down. Henderson for three. Off the back iron. Offensive rebound, McCullough.
Yeah.
They got a good bounce, and McCullough swallowed it up, and that'll let Campbell take another 20 seconds off the clock.
Good defense there by the Hatters, but you got to come away with that defensive rebound. Credit Campbell.
Thompson driving baseline.
Oh,
Henderson
throws
it down.
Cedric Henderson again, the last 3 trips up the floor. He's been the guy. Selected to all Big South.
Johnston, quick three, no good. Jawara, he had it.
Should be the
But
Hatters.
it is Hatter ball.
Should be the Hatters basketball.
He does get up on Clemens and force the held ball in the Henderson. 7 straight points in crunch time for Campbell.
Got to get it in.
It goes to Jones. Swenson gets it back. Gets the screen from Smith. Now to Perry. Takes Henderson inside. Goes off the glass and in.
Nice raw Perry. Just a simple one-on-one move. They ran a play to get it out top, and he was able to work his way on the wing.
Hatters trapping. Clemens barely gets out of it. And now they break it to McCullough, who will slow it up.
McCullough, we talked about his experience. Played 19 games with Cal Berkeley. So, you know, he's a guy that's been around a while, and he, instead of going to the basket, he says knowing that time is his ally.
Probably the last possession where the Hatters don't have to foul. Henderson, end of the shot clock, he lost it. Hatters going out. Jones, it's tipped. Carolero can't hang on.
Wow.
It'll be Stetson basketball underneath the Campbell hoop.
And they were looking for a 30-second shot clock violation, but it came almost simultaneously as the steal. So if you're the Hatters, you know, you liked how that possession turned out because there was an opportunity to score.
Kevin McGeehan wants.
You don't foul. It's a one-possession game.
Smith back out there. Hatters inbounding. Down 5. And Clemens tips it out. Trying to go to Johnston in the corner.
Yeah, just wasn't good. Maybe good spacing on that particular out-of-bounds play. And if it's set up for picks, oh yeah, you have to be able to use those screens. It looks like they're giving the ball to. Okay.
No, Stetson's going to keep it.
Yeah, so they're just doing a release foul, putting.
Yeah, just to have Swenson out there if nothing was available.
Didn't have a good design play to try to score on that odd placement of getting the ball in bounds.
Here's Perry. It's been so vital in this second half. Perry driving, no good. Smith's put back. He gets fouled.
Yeah.
The basket won't count.
Yeah, and you know Cedric Henderson, he was holding his hand, holding the wrist of Josh Smith. And Josh Smith has just done yeoman's duty on the backboard. And we talked about offensive rebounding. We talked about going to the basket. Rob Perry couldn't get it to go, but Josh Smith was right there. And we said getting that extra possession.
Hatters will be very frustrated that that was called, because instead of a one-possession game, now they've got to actually score the basketball here again. Perry in the corner. Perry, step back three.
Damn.
Oh, yeah!
One-possession game, but you're going to have to go for the steal. If you don't get it, you're going to have to foul right away.
Hatters pressing. Henderson wants timeout. 2.
Basketball.
Jones, he's got it. Thrown away, picked up by Swenson. McCullough nearly steals it, and now Perry's got it. And Donnie Jones uses his.
All the possessions go.
And there's one of those fouls to give as Thompson gets the hands in on Swenson. That's Thompson's second.
And it's a lot of drills with moving your feet and not holding with your hands. So this is a very, very well-coached team.
Here we go.
You got to go.
They're
here.
not fouling here. Swenson to Perry. It's knocked out of his hands. Perry's got it back. Swenson tried to pass, and the game is over.
It's a tough no call there, but the official said, hey, he drew the contact.